Hello, here we go. The last slide for week 10. Some of you are saying, oh, thank goodness, finally the last slide. So we're going to look at this one. What I'd like to do is explain why some of these things work in math. Okay, so why is the solution as it is? Okay, so this here equals 0, right? So we have an equation that we have to solve, and to solve an equation really means to simplify it so that I can isolate the a and figure out what a is. And obviously when you looked at the slide, you know a is supposed to be 9. So let's see how we get there. I'm going to do it a little bit differently than the slide. Okay? I'm going to start right away by making this the exponent 1/3, and we know that the cube root or exponent 1/3 are the same. And I'm going to do it here. Now, I'd like to get rid of the exponent 1/3, and a nice way to get rid of the exponent 1/3 would be to cube it, okay? So, what I'd really like to do is I'd really like to say, hey, I'm just going to cube this, and that would be really nice, because if I cube it, you know, 1/3 cubed is 1. The problem is if I try to cube something like this, right, you know, think of it this way, x minus y cubed. That's x minus y times x minus y times x minus y, and then I have to multiply them all out, and I'm going to be in a big mess. Okay, so I cannot cube it like this. Okay, cannot. So let's get rid of this red. Okay, not happening. Not going to work. Okay, but what I can do is I can bring this to the other side, and I know with smaller linear ones, we're like, we want all the a's on the same side, but we're going to have to take an extra step. So I'm going to bring this one over. So I'm going to have 7a plus 1 root to the 1/3 equals, bring it over, got to change the sign. Right? Just like that. So if I'm subtracting 2 bracket a minus 1 bracket to the 1/3 on this side, I'm adding it on the other side. Now, that allows me, in this stage, I can cube this side and cube this side. And you might be saying, why? Well, what I can do, remember the rule, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other side, and you learned it when you were young. You're like, well, we added 5 on the left side, so we have to add 5 on the right side, or we divided by 2 on the one side, so we have to divide by 2 on the other side. It actually works for things that are more complicated. So if I want to cube one side, I have to cube the other side. So I'm going to cube both sides. And why I chose to do that is because 1/3 times 3 gives me an exponent of 1. So if I cube this, I'm left with 7a plus 1, right? Because I have to multiply the exponents. Okay? On this side, you have to be a little bit careful because I'm cubing the 2 and I'm cubing the bracket. So 2 cubed is 8. Right? Because that's that piece. And then I'm cubing the bracket, well, a minus 1 to the 1/3. Then I multiply those exponents, right? And I just get a minus 1. Okay? So now, what that does, so why did I do that? It leaves me with a linear equation, which is a lot easier to solve, right? And if you think of that, well, equals, that's 8a minus 8, because we have to distribute it in, 7a. I'm going to bring the 8a over, minus 8a equals negative 8. I'm going to bring the 1 over, make it negative. 7a minus 8a is negative a, and this is negative 9. So if negative a equals negative 9, then positive a equals positive 9. Okay? So we have an answer of a equals 9. Now, we have to check to make sure that's true, because once you get into these roots, a couple slides ago we learned we can end up with extraneous answers, which means mathematically they look fine, but they don't answer, or they're not actually a solution, because somewhere some math stuff was done that we weren't allowed to do. So we're going to look at that. We're going to put it in. We'll get some green here. Okay, and you see how we put it in on the chart. So I'm not going to put it in formally. I'm just going to do this. 7 times 9 is 63 plus 1. So this is 64. And the cube root of 64 is 4. Okay. 9 minus 1 is 8. The cube root of 8 is 2. And negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And 4 minus 4 does equal 0. So this answer is correct. And it's a legitimate answer. That brings us to the end of week 10. Okay. Week 11, next week, there's no content, which is the good news, because there is the test 2. Okay. And by the time you're watching this video, assignment 2 will already have been posted, and you need to have that done the day before test 2. Test 2 is on Tuesday, November the 17th at 12 o'clock noon. So I wish you good luck in your studying, and we will see you soon.